Welcome to Towards 2015, the program to open up your business perspective in a large market that consists of over 600 million consumers, that is the ASEAN market. The financial institutions and banks play an important role in the rehabilitation of the manufacturers who were affected by the floods. Kasikorn Bank sympathizes with their position and so suggests various measures to the 7 affected industrial estates and gives us an analyzed overview of the flood crisis.
สวัสดีครับคุณทรงพลชีวปัญญาโรจน์ the Executive Vice President of Kasikorn Bank. Today we are going to ask Kun Songpon about his latest assessment on the impacts of the massive floods in Thailand on Thailand's economy and the industrial sector. So what is your latest evaluation?
Basically, if we look at the flood situation in Thailand, we can look into the loss in 2 angles.
Yes.
The loss of the asset that is in the industrial estates and also companies that are not in the industrial estates.
Yes.
The others is also the damage of the economic to Thailand. If we look at the number of the loss of the 7 industrial estates with the company that located in the flood area, we look at the number of about 600 billion Thai baht.
Yes.
Which actually generally we looking at about the net loss to Thailand economically is about 242 billion Thai baht, which is a lot lower than the number of the asset lost.
Yes.
When we look at the asset, I mean equipment, factory,
yes.
Properties in each of the area. But after the recovery of those assets, the damage might be a lot less than this. But the surveyor and the company has to go and visit and recheck all the losses first. The net impact to the GDP would result in the net GDP of Thailand in this year to end it at about 1.5% GDP. The total absolute number of Thai economy of Thai economic, we look at about the number of 340 billion US dollar.
I see.
So the number is still quite okay in a way that because the first half and also the third quarter,
yes.
the economy is still quite okay. But with the fourth quarter that we got flood situation.
I see. So earlier we forecast this year GDP about 4%. Right?
About 4 to 4.5%.
And now it's revised downward to
1.5%.
So a big cut on economic growth. Yes.
Yes.
And the Ayutthaya and Pathum Thani, where the 7 industrial estates are located, suffer the most. Correct?
Yes. So basically, those the Ayutthaya, Pathum Thani, when we look at the landscape of the industrial park, including the companies that are located in those provinces, Ayutthaya and Pathum Thani mainly pity the land versus the level versus the sea level is actually the lowest versus sea level. So a lot of water can come in and can stuck in there for a while, but due to the volume of water this year has more than last year, which impact the flood in those 2 provinces.
From your discussion with the clients, I understand that many of them are Japanese and foreigners. So what are their reaction to this disaster?
When we have 2 groups
yes.
of the companies that got flooded, got impact from the flood. The first group would be the company that located in the industrial estates itself. The other is also the company that are not located in the industrial estate, but yes. with the supply chain of those company that is in the flooded area. Most of the company, some of them, as you know today, that some of the industrial estate, the company is still unable to go into the
still under the water.
Until under the water. I visited Nawanakon last week,
yes.
which the water level still above my head.
Really?
Yeah. So I think the what we has been talked to the company. The company would there are three types of company.
Yes.
The company that has some of the operation in some other places in Thailand or in overseas offices.
Yes.
There would be more production increase in some of the other places like in other country or in other part of Thailand
provinces.
Or provinces of Thailand.
Yes.
But the company that for their own factory that is in the flood area, they would come back and would renovate it, but would not start to operate 100% the same as the level before flooded. Number of percentage of the production would looking at about 25 to 50%.
So they are not really sure whether the floods will happen again next year and in the near future, right?
Yes, I think a lot of people still wait and see how the government and also what would be the plan to manage, to prevent the water in the upcoming year.
Yes.
And the other would be, as I mentioned, there are three types. The first one would be about 25 to 50%.
Yes.
The others is also some of the company that do not have the choice or the operation some other places. So they would probably try to recover and build some more protection.
Yes.
After evaluate the plan that the government has been planning on this management. So those would be the one that got most impacted because they don't have the operations elsewhere and they have to recover and start reproduction the soonest.
I see.
The third one would be the one that probably would move to the higher ground versus the sea level. Some of the Japanese company or even the Thai company also looking at about 7 to 9 meters above the sea level. It's not only in Thailand.
So how high is Ayutthaya and Pathum Thani?
Ayutthaya, Pathum Thani probably about flat.
Flat, equal to the median sea level.
Equal to the sea level.
Yes, I see.
Actually Bangkok is about some area is about 1 to 2 meters higher than the sea level.
I see.
Yeah.
So new factories for the Japanese, for example, they want to be a higher ground. And which provinces or which region of Thailand are now among the most interested?
Probably would be the northeastern side, above maybe the Nakhon Ratchasima,
Yes.
Kabin Buri, Sakeo area, and
Eastern Seaboard also?
Some Eastern Seaboard also. Some part of the Eastern Seaboard is also higher than the sea level. And also logistically, the ground transportation from Nakhon Ratchasima to Laos to Vietnam is also being able to connect.
So Kun Sompon, there are at least three groups, right? The first one, group of factories, they have the choice of moving part of their production to other factories in other areas and or other provinces. The second one have no choice, so they have to have protection wall, prevention of floods. And the third one will relocate the whole factory to other locations. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. But as we discussed earlier, that when we look at this situation, the flood situation, it's basically not only happen in Thailand alone.
Yes.
Due to the global warming, there are a lot more natural disaster, either earthquake, flood, or tsunami. Flood can come from the land itself, like from the rains, and also from the sea. So basically, what we actually need would be how the government and also the agencies to look into the overall planning, not only for the company that come from overseas investment, but also for the Thai people as well.
Yes.
We would start to see more rains in abnormally in some of the season that never rains before.
And drought also.
Yes, and a lot of people would afraid that we would have not enough water
Yes.
For agriculture. So the overall change and planning on in terms of the water or natural resources management is something that would be needed. So if I don't think it would be a good idea to just put on the wall as high as possible, because at the end we still need to look at the overall resource management.
I see. But at least I talked to Bangadi Industrial Estate and Lojana Industrial Park. They said they will seeking loans, soft loans from the government to build permanent concrete walls to protect the factory inside the compound, and costing very expensive, 40 to 50 million baht per kilometer. For example, Bangadi will invest about 400 million baht for 8 kilometers of walls. You don't think this is it a good idea to do that?
I basically to put on the wall as the interim action to gain more confidence. I think that is the things that the industrial estates manager actually looking to gain more confidence.
Yes.
But for the medium term to long term, I think we need to have the well plan for the whole country. We start to see some flood not only in the central part of Thailand,
Yes.
some in the north, some also in the south.
Yes.
So the overall water management would be needed.
It's a big challenge on coping with the climate change.
Yes.
I see. So, but you also mentioned about the location. Ayutthaya, in your opinion, is still a good location for factories?
Logistically, Ayutthaya in the past, if we look at the geographically, transportation, logistic, we can use air, we can use land, and Ayutthaya we can also use ship, like boat.
I see.
So
River.
From the river side.
Yes.
And Ayutthaya is also a good center for a few rivers up to the northern part of Thailand. So I think that would be something that logistically, location-wise, is still a good location. However, as we all know, the Thai house in many years back, most of the Thai house in central part of Thailand, the first floor is all empty.
For the water to flow.
For the water to flow.
Yes.
And people live on the second floor. But nowadays we don't see any of the house that built within these 10 years that has an very empty first floor. So a lot of people even put on just one story house. So I think we probably have to step back a bit and look at what would be the plan, what would be the benefits or the location of the industrial estates or the factory that would be built, and also has to incorporate the global warming issue that we would be sometimes we have too much water, sometimes we don't have any water.